Hey everybody, are you here? I can never tell if anybody's here or not, so I'm going to wait a couple minutes. I hope everybody had a nice holiday and New Year, and all the people in the North and the Midwest are staying warm, because I know it's been rather cold by me up here in Indiana. It was 8 degrees this week, windy and blustery and snowing and sleeting and just all sorts of fun. So,
No sound.
okay, I've been told I don't have any sound. No sound. Hey, can everybody hear me? No sound. Okay, there's sound. All right, so we've got sound. So tonight I'm going to talk about heat and light therapy, what it is and what its benefits are, because there's lots of things on the market tonight. Red light, far infrared, near infrared, so regular heat. So there's different types of heat therapy and light therapy on the market today. So how do you know which one's right for you and what's the difference between them? So there's the basic heat therapies we're all familiar with. Many of us have used saunas or heating pads or herbal hot and cold packs or hot water bottles. I used to use a hot water bottle a lot. So they certainly come in handy, especially when we overdo exercising or we work too hard in the garden. So we all know that warmth promotes relaxation, allowing us to feel better. I mean, who doesn't enjoy a warm summer day? And especially now that we're in January, 80 and sunny sounds really good. So today we definitely have much more therapies to choose from. We have our familiar heat therapy products along with red light, near infrared, far infrared. So we want to keep in mind that the infrared therapies are also a form of heat therapy, which is why I'm talking about them now. So heat therapy, also known as thermotherapy, has been used for centuries to provide comfort for everybody. It helps our body, it promotes blood flow. When we warm up our blood vessels, they dilate, bringing increased circulation. When we have increased circulation, we have more nutrients and oxygen going to our cells in the area that we're warming. Better blood flow also helps our body heal faster. Heat also stimulates our metabolism, giving the body more energy, which further assists it in healing and recuperation. So heat therapy works great to relieve lower back pain, muscle soreness, spasms, stress, and tension. And when our muscles are relaxed, it allows for more flexibility, better nutrient absorption, and more energy for us. So all these things can help take the edge off of your discomfort, and to further promote benefits, when we take the edge off our discomfort and pain, we're dealing with much less stress, we're more comfortable. So there's no doubt that warmth improves how we feel. There's also light producing heat, known as red light, near infrared, far infrared. All these areas of light are found on the electromagnetic spectrum of light. There's actually 7 types of light waves. These waves are radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves, which are invisible. We have visible light rays. We have the ultraviolet light rays, which are harmful. We have X-rays and gamma rays, which include nuclear energy. So red light therapy is found at the high end of the visible section, while near infrared and far infrared are found in the invisible or far infrared section on the electromagnetic spectrum. Light found on the electromagnetic spectrum is usually measured in wavelength, nanometers, or microns. It just depends on who's discussing them. So near and far infrared are found on the infrared segment, and they offer benefits very similar to heat therapy because our body perceives these spectrums of light as heat. However, infrared interacts with the body in a very different way. The longer the wavelength, the deeper the light penetrates into our cells, giving our cells more energy they need to promote healing and relieve pain. So I like to look at it this way. Topical heat is an actual heat source that's placed on top of the body, like our typical hot water bottles, heating pads, that kind of thing, and it provides warmth that travels into the body from the outside in. Near and far infrared light are actual light rays that interact with the receptors of our cells in our body, activating them or motivating them to go to work. So as I like to say, infrared light therapy goes into our body and warms our body from the inside out. This is often known as biomodulation or phototherapy. And even though these therapies have similar benefits, they interact a little differently with the body, from topical heat to infrared heat. So red light therapy, which is really popular now, a lot of salons and spas are offering red light therapy. It's often confused and referred to as infrared or near infrared therapy, and sometimes it's even combined with near infrared therapy. However, it isn't actually infrared therapy, because red light is found in the segment of visible light, which is a light that we can see. And it's about 600 to 700 nanometers at the very top end of the visible light spectrum, just before the beginning of the infrared range. It usually uses LEDs or a red light to deliver its intense light to the body. According to WebMD, it's shown to be beneficial for some types of memories and sleep. It's helpful for certain types of pain like osteoarthritis or tendonitis or your general aches. It's also used a lot for the signs of aging and skin rejuvenation, which is why it's used in so many salons and spas, because of its skin rejuvenating benefits. It works great for treating the surface of the skin, so it doesn't go in real deep. Okay, it's mostly used for treating the surface of the skin, and it helps improve the appearance of the skin, boosts collagen, reduces wrinkles, scarring, and acne, helps with eczema, psoriasis, all types of skin issues. And when our body is exposed to this concentrated wavelength of light, the powerhouse of our cells, ATP, is energized, allowing the benefits to go beyond products providing just topical heat, like a heating pad. So many red light products, it was kind of confusing because many red light products that are used in salons and spas are kind of extended to include the about 750 or 800 nanometers of the near infrared range, combining both of them, accentuating their skin healing abilities. So that's red light therapy. So there's also infrared light therapy, which covers near, mid, and far infrared therapy. These are what make up the infrared segment on the electromagnetic spectrum, and the range is approximately 700 to 1,000 nanometers. Near infrared has the shortest wavelength, then comes mid-infrared, and then comes far infrared. So remember, the power of infrared therapy is an interaction with the body and the body's ability to absorb the rays. When we're outside on a sunny day, it's the infrared light that makes us feel warm. When a cloud comes and blocks that segment of light, we often become chilled. So along with the interaction, each wavelength offers a different depth of penetration and somewhat different benefits. It's believed that far infrared rays can penetrate the body from 2 to 5 centimeters. Infrared therapy actually interacts with the body through the tissue, then to the energy center of our cells. It's even been studied and said that far infrared therapy increases the production of nitric oxide. The whole mechanism of far infrared therapy is very complicated, and it's still being studied to understand all the interactions with our body, our cells, and the chemical reactions and everything that occurred. So it's still somewhat puzzling, but it's extremely beneficial. So near infrared therapy, which is often merged with red light therapy, like I said earlier, is why it was difficult for me to differentiate between what red light therapy actually does and what near infrared actually does. I think red light definitely is more skin focused. So, and I think that's why they combine the two, because near infrared, being on the lower end of the spectrum of infrared, doesn't penetrate as deep. So it's really good for inflammation, wound healing, skin rejuvenation. and it also has strong anti-inflammatory process. So it's been found very beneficial for sprains, bone fractures, and actually to help with wound healing. Again, we're talking about, the skin and the topical. Animal studies have also been done using near-infrared therapy for brain injuries, strokes, and traumas. So if you have aches or pains or need to heal a wound, near-infrared is definitely going to tackle it. If you want to focus on skin rejuvenation, I would couple it with red light therapy for the best results, because that's what a lot of people seem to be doing, and it seems to be very effective. It's also used kind of like in red light near infrared beds in salons to kind of relax you and promote more positive of a mood. So far infrared, which is what the Soki products are, on the higher spectrum, penetrate deeper and offer more benefits in the infrared segment of life. They've been studied in China and Japan well over 30, 40 years. It offers all the benefits of near infrared and then some. Like I said, it has the deepest reaching ability in reaction to our body's tissues and our cells, promoting a host of reactions that offer relief for many conditions. I think that's why there's so many products on the market that offer far infrared therapy. Not only are there so many products, but the products are a huge range, from far infrared saunas to clothing to far infrared back support belts, far infrared heating pads, far infrared portable domes, far infrared jade mats. So far infrared therapy is widely known for helping to relieve acute and chronic pain, including helping people with fibromyalgia. It also promotes blood flow to areas where there even seems to be a shortage of blood flow, like to certain organs or tissues. And it also has been shown to improve the circulation to our skin, which is why I'm sure near infrared is used for skin rejuvenation. It's also been studied and found to actually help reduce chronic inflammation and protecting the body against oxidative stress. So infrared's really amazing. Heat therapy is really amazing. Whether you're using a hot water bottle or a far infrared dome, you're going to benefit from this type of therapy. I think the only thing we need to decide is, what are we trying to accomplish in the body? So, if you're wanting to get way deep into the body and promote circulation and all the cellular interaction, far infrared's definitely the way to go. If you just want some comfort and to get a chill off, probably topical heat's going to work. I know for me, I used far infrared. I've been using the far infrared dome since 2005, and I found it amazing. With my RSV and CRPS, I had really severe bone pain, and I don't know if anybody else has had bone pain, but it's just horrible. And I would use the dome over my thigh and my hip for hours. And I'm happy to say I don't have bone pain anymore. Thank you, Soki Fur Dome. So in case you're wondering, a lot of people ask, how long should you apply heat therapy? Well, for far infrared therapy, I think you should do it for at least 30 minutes, especially with the dome. That gives your body time to do the dance, as I say, interact with the light in our cells, and let our bodies do what they're naturally meant to do. And you also need to remember that heat isn't supposed to be used on a fresh injury or a gaping, oozing infection. Okay, so if you just sprained your ankle or you just had an injury causing a bad wound, you want to make sure that you follow RICE and use rest, ice compression, elevate it until your body's ready to add the heat. So I just wanted to add that, so nobody does anything kind of crazy. So that's my information on the difference between red light, near, far, and mid. So red light and combined with near infrared really is good for the skin. They are advertised to promote mood, even though there's not really a lot of science to back that, but they are studying near infrared for brain injuries. Far infrared's been the most studied, the most used long-term, that segment of the light ray. has tons of benefits, tons of application, tons of studies. They're continuing to study the mechanism of how it actually works in the body and all the benefits that it provides. And I'm sure it's a lot because God gave us the sun and the moon and the planets and the earth. So I'm sure the sun has lots of benefits we may never know for a long time. So hope everybody's doing good. Hope you learned something from this presentation on light therapy. And if there's something you want me to talk about next month, maybe leave a comment. Before I go, I want to remind everybody that's a distributor to leave your ID number and name in the comments so you can be entered in the drawing for the free fur pad. And this week's flash sale and special is on the Chi Machine for $4.25 with free shipping through Sunday. So everybody have a good week and continue to share Soki and help everybody improve how they feel. Thanks.